Part 156. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 1551. Chapter 1551 is the emotion you lack. After returning to his room, Han Chi took out his phone and saw many messages from Mo Xiongnuan popping up on it. Are you home yet? Where are the photos? Han Chi. Mo Xiongnuan bombarded him with at least a dozen text messages, but he didn't feel annoyed at all. Instead, he felt happy. Select the group photo taken today and send it, and add this sentence, Mo Xiongnuan, you have such a big face. Mo Xiongnuan put her phone away and finally received the photo sent by Han Chi. She was still happy at first, but when the next sentence was sent, she was instantly speechless. Why does she have a big face? It was obviously Han Chi who directly pressed her in front of the camera and took a picture using a straight man's photography technique. Not only did her appearance double in the photo, her face became round. Mo Xiongnuan retorted and protested, it's a matter of shooting angle. Han Chi made a giggling voice, really funny. Mo Xiongnuan was sitting on the bed holding his stuffed bear, puffing out his cheeks, holding his cell phone, and the page on his cell phone always showed the selfie. She thought about it, saved the photo album, and then uploaded it to a private space for backup. She fell into a sweet dream with a good mood, but she didn't know that Han Chi had already embarked on the journey to country F when the sun rose the next day. Mo Xiongnuan has officially entered high school. Even though she is only a freshman in high school, she has already begun to prepare for the college entrance examination in 3 years. No, if everything goes well, she would like to skip a grade, or she could just pass it on. Of course, the prerequisite for this is that you must work harder to achieve good results. Mo Xiongnuan's life has always been relatively closed. She doesn't like hanging out with her classmates, and she's not as sociable as Ye Qingfeng and Yezhiruo. She prefers to read quietly by herself, or focus on her hobbies, such as music. Seek solace for your soul. In addition to studying at school, Mo Xiongnuan spent most of his time in the piano room. Whenever he has free time, he will stay with her and give guidance. Mommy, I have already practiced the song you gave me last time. Okay, check it now. Mo Xiongnuan's basic skills are very solid, and playing music is now a common thing for her. The difference lies in her familiarity with the instrument and the artistic conception of her playing. The only song I've ever heard is Mo Xiongnuan's song. It can be said that it's not very good, but it lacks a little bit of appeal. I also tried to explain it to her, but that kind of emotion cannot be expressed in words, and it must be understood by oneself. Very good, but Nuan, you can't always be limited to your own field of study. I think you should go out. Although we study music, just the music scores and words in the books are not enough. You have to experience various different things, maybe that way, you'll have a different understanding of every piece of music you learn. Nuan, you need to understand how to express emotions. Emotion. Mo Xiongnuan muttered these two words silently. Isn't the so-called emotion just her love for her family and her love for her friends? She could understand these feelings, but it was difficult for her to express them in music. However, she still would not give up, and promised only, Mommy, I will try my best. In fact, Han Chi has done a good job in this area. You can talk to him when you have time. Han Chi will be very busy in the 3rd year of junior high school this semester. He is not the kind of person who ties himself to study. I heard that he is very happy abroad now. Abroad. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 1552. Chapter 1552, Sisters Who Are Worlds Apart. Don't you know? Last time you said he came to see you, I thought you knew. Recalling the only words Yewei said to her in his mind, Amo Xiongnuan realized that the last time Han Chi came to see her was to say goodbye. Han Chi came to say goodbye to her, but she didn't know anything about it. I heard something about Han Chi from Ye Weiwei. Although his academic performance was not good since he was a child, his son inherited his talent in music from his parents. He has performed well since he was a child and won many awards. Amo Xiongnuan believed Han Chi's words, and the money for his treat was indeed earned by himself. Now hearing about Han Chi winning the award from Ye Weiwei has another meaning. Han Chi is really awesome. But what about her? Draw a wall as a prison in your own area and don't want to go out. The so-called self-protection is just an excuse for fear and escape. But she was asked to go out and perform and show Amo Xiongnuan's ability in front of so many people. Forget it, she'd better learn it on her own. Through long-term hard work and study, Amo Xiongnuan's technique has naturally become more and more sophisticated, but the only thing that makes Ye dissatisfied is that there is always something missing in her music. That emotion that cannot be described in words. Dong dong dong. Yeshiruo pushed the door open and came in, holding a box in his hand. She also went straight to the topic when she spoke. Nuan Nuan, Daddy asked me to ask you, there is a party on Saturday night the day after tomorrow, do you want to go to it? Amo Xiongnuan glanced at the box in her hand, pursed his lips subconsciously, and shook his head. Alas, Yeshiruo sighed lightly, although this answer was within her expectations. But she still brought the box in her hand. These are your clothes? I'll put them here for you first. I got it, sister. Yeshiruo walked over and touched Amo Xiongnuan's head. Although they are the same age, Yeshiruo always takes care of Amo Xiongnuan as if she is a sister who is several years younger than herself. I have a lot of things going on at home recently, so I may not have time to spend time with you. If you need anything, just let us know at any time. Yeah, I know it's hard for my sister to accompany Daddy and Mommy to the banquet, right? It's okay, I'm used to it, and I'm training myself anyway, but we all know that Nuanuan you don't like that kind of occasion, so it's okay. Daddy prepared that set of clothes for us at the same time, so you can put them away first. Okay, I'll put it away in a moment, thank you sister. You're so good, I'll leave first. This kind of thing has become a habit. From the moment they returned home, they would ask Amo Xiongnuan if there was anything they could do with the family. Although Amo Xiongnuan had never agreed to go, they would not ignore her every time, even at night. If a dress is needed for the occasion, Yezikin will also customize the same style for Amo Xiongnuan to ensure that his love for the three children is balanced. After Yeshiruo left the room, Amo Xiongnuan went to get the box. She opened the box and saw the exquisite and beautiful dress inside. Hands stayed on the surface of the clothes and stroked them gently. Amo Xiongnuan's heart was always tangled. She didn't dare to face those people outside. They were both daughters of the Ye family, but there was a big difference between her and the proud Yeshiruo. She is not jealous, but envious. Very envious. Wearing 5 pieces of clothing to go out on Chinese Valentine's Day in winter, I still caught a cold, felt uncomfortable, and cried. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1553. Chapter 1553. She is sick. Saturday, Yeshiruo's originally fully scheduled schedule was all cancelled because a sudden cold made her lack of energy and made her feel uncomfortable all the time. Ye Weiwei felt very distressed, but if she had to wait for her cold to be cured, it would not be possible to take medicine and take an injection, and it would take effect in a matter of minutes. Don't worry, Mommy, my cold is not serious. How can you not be worried? It rained and cooled down 2 days ago. I told you to wear more clothes but you didn't listen. Now mommy is really worried. It's okay. Yasuhiro held Yewai's hand to comfort her. Yewai stayed by her side and didn't go anywhere. I have asked for leave from today's dance class, and other things have been cancelled. Good news for you, Ruruo. Thank you, mommy, I know. Yasuhiro was the only one who had to lie down and rest. The quilt covered her tightly, leaving only one head exposed. Amo Xiongnuan poured a glass of warm water for Yasuhiro. Sister, would you like some water? At the same time as Yasuhiro stood up, Yewai took the cup from Amo Xiongnuan's hand and said, "Come on, give it to me." The relationship during illness was still warm. Yasuhiro suddenly thought of something when she saw Amo Xiongnuan. "Mommy, isn't there a banquet tonight? I definitely won't be able to go like this, so why not let Nuan go?" "Huh? Me?" Amo Xiongnuan was shocked when he heard Yasuhiro's suggestion. What is she going to do? Both Xiao Yasuhiro and Yewai looked at her with expectant eyes, making her even embarrassed to say rejection. Amo Xiongnuan blinked and closed his mouth tightly. Yasuhiro feels that it's almost done. Nuan did not refuse but agreed. "I want to tell daddy the good news." "Baby, lie down first, and I'll call your daddy right now." Yasuhiro and Yewai's mother and daughter singing together really coaxed Amo Xiongnuan away, and now he can't refuse. If Yasuhiro said he wanted to sleep, Yewai would take Amo Xiongnuan out and not disturb him again. Nuan, do you still like the dress yesterday? Try it on." Okay, wait a minute, mommy." Amo Xiongnuan went inside to change clothes, and when he took the clothes, his heart began to beat. Should she appear instead of Yasuhiro? But she had never been to such an occasion, and when she thought about it, she felt a little scared, a little timid and wanted to retreat. "But my sister is sick. The family is so kind to her. As a member of the family, how can she shrink back when they are in need?" After thinking about it, Amo Xiongnuan put on his little dress and went out to show Yewai. Yewai's eyes were full of joy when he saw it. "It's so beautiful. My baby looks really good in this dress." "Really?" "Of course." Although he was praised by his mother, Amo Xiongnuan was still very happy to hear it. They all know that Amo Xiongnuan is a little afraid of this kind of thing. They couldn't bear to force her before. Since she agreed this time, she must seize the opportunity to let Amo Xiongnuan get in touch with more outside things. In the afternoon, Yezikin came to pick him up personally. When Amo Xiongnuan got into the car, she was still wrapped in the white coat that Yewai had given her. Yezikin glanced at it and praised it without hesitation. "It's very beautiful." "Thank you, Daddy." Amo Xiongnuan thanked Nuan shyly, not daring to speak much along the way. Yezikin told her some general precautions. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 1554. Chapter 1554 Banquet. Amo Xiongnuan became very nervous when he was about to arrive at his destination, and his hands and feet were shaking. Although it was not obvious, Yezikin noticed it. "Do not be afraid." Yezikin often held Amo Xiongnuan's hand, and the warm big palm wrapped around her felt like she felt a lot more secure. Amo Xiongnuan followed Yezikin cautiously. Many people use banquets and other occasions to get to know more business partners. As Yezikin is the most influential entrepreneur in S city, many people eagerly come to him to swipe their face card. If Yezikin negotiates a cooperation, it will be a win-win situation for the big company, and it will be an excellent opportunity for the small company to turn around. Yezikin brings the same number of people with him to the banquet every time, either assistants, wives, sons, and daughters. It will definitely not be like some people who have different female companions at every banquet. But tonight Zikin brought a little girl with a face they had never seen before. Others were making speculations after seeing this. wondering what the relationship between this girl and Yezikin was. A few years ago, there was a lot of news about Yejia's recovery of her youngest daughter. However, because Mo Xiongnuan was too low-key and never showed up in public, everyone had little impression of her and almost forgot about her in the past few years. What's more, Mo Xiongnuan looks much smaller than Ye Qingfeng and Yezhiruo, who they often see. Who is that little girl? That's right, I've never seen it before. I don't know which family's child is actually able to follow the director of Yes Group. No one knows about it. Those who didn't dare to ask directly stood by and made speculations. Someone came to toast Yezikin with a wine glass. When he mentioned Mo Xiongnuan, Yezikin introduced him to everyone calmly, "My daughter, Mo Xiongnuan." "Oh, it turns out he is Mr. Chen's daughter. This child is really handsome." Who doesn't know how to flatter Mo Xiongnuan? Just based on Yezikin's one-sentence introduction, others would not dare to look down on Mo Xiongnuan. Some people even had their sights set on her, but Yezikin always took Mo Xiongnuan with her wherever she went or whatever she did. She protected her closely so that no one else could get a chance to get in touch with her. It seems that this person named Mo Xiongnuan has a good background, and he is so favored. Hey, a few years ago, wasn't it said that the Ye family had found a daughter who had been missing for many years? Could it be this one? But her surname is Mo. Isn't that right? Maybe it's because I didn't change my name. Yezikin's superficial identity is a descendant of the Ye family, and together with the Mo family, they have concealed their true relationship. Others can only rely on guesswork and do not know the true depth of the relationship between Yezikin and the Mo family. Mo Xiongnuan was very nervous when she came to such an occasion for the first time, but because Yezikin was by her side, she could feel free to look around. Everyone inside and outside was dressed up gorgeously, which made her feel like she had entered a different world. Mo Xiongnuan followed Yezikin and saw people constantly coming to talk to Yezikin, often making her a topic of conversation. Mo Xiongnuan was not very used to this. She stared at the fruits and food at the banquet and smashed them in her mouth. "Have you drunk?" Yezikin always paid attention to her thoughts. Mo Xiongnuan nodded honestly. "There's something nearby, you can go get it?" Yeah, Mo Xiongnuan nodded heavily. At this moment, she finally let go of Yezikin's hand. Although she was a little scared, she still went to get the food alone. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1555. Chapter 1555 True and False Friends. Mo Xiongnuan started to get confused when he saw the food. He didn't know which one to take first. "This is delicious." Suddenly a plate was passed in front of me, and there was one more person. Mo Xiongnuan blinked and looked at the person. She was a young girl. Looks like he is only 17 or 18 years old. The girl greeted Mo Xiongnuan familiarly and introduced herself. "Hello, my name is Yu Mai Hui, and the boss of Yu's Electrical Appliances is my father." With half a sentence of name and half a sentence of identity, Yu Mai Hui looks a little proud in everything she says and does. There are two types of proud people, one is self-confidence in one's own abilities, and the other is excessive narcissism about oneself. So far, Mo Xiongnuan doesn't know which kind Yu Mai Hui is. "Hello, my name is Mo Xiongnuan, and I am." Mo Xiongnuan was a little nervous. It would be weird to identify himself like Yu Mai Hui did. Yu Mai Hui suddenly smiled and said, "I know you are the daughter of Mr. Chen of the Ye Group." Yeah. Mo Xiongnuan was not good at dealing with strangers, so she didn't know what to say to Mai Hui. Yu Mai Hui, on the other hand, seemed full of energy and kept introducing these delicious things to her. Yu Mai Hui will also ask some questions. "Have you been to this kind of banquet before?" "I don't think I have seen you before." Mo Xiongnuan shook his head and told her honestly, "Today is also my first time here." "Is that so?" Yu Mai Hwai rolled her eyes as if she had thought of something new. Do you know what these things are? Let's know something. The things Yu Mai Hwai recommended to her were indeed delicious and just in line with her taste. But so far, her impression of Mai Hwai is average, because she can feel that Yu Mai Hwai is showing something intentionally or unintentionally when talking to her. What are you showing off? Yu Mai Hwai said that the food here is delicious, but Mo Xiang Nguyen did not deny it, because the food she had tasted was richer than these. But Mo Xiang Nguyen didn't say anything. Mo Xiang Nguyen eats a small amount, and he doesn't feel hungry after eating a little. Yu Mai Hwai stayed with her patiently and chatted, but in fact Mo Xiang Nguyen didn't respond much. After all, people want to talk to her. Even if she doesn't like it, there is no need to get into trouble in this situation. Anyway, there will be no next time after seeing her once. Hey Xiang Nuan, I want to ask you a more personal question, okay? What? Are you the daughter they said they found from outside? Yeah, this is actually not a shameful thing for Mo Xiang Nguyen. She should be lucky that God is not kind to her and she is never afraid when facing these problems casually. It's just that Yu Mai Hwai was a little concerned when she heard this, and even comforted her, it's okay. Although we are latecomers, as long as we work hard, we can become like others. Yes, let me tell you a secret quietly. In fact, I just returned to the Yu family not long ago, and I have been living outside. Ah, have you ever been lost before? That's not true, but because of family issues, I had just returned home not long ago. Many people looked down on me at that time, but I just wanted to become even more powerful to show them. Is that so? Come on. Since we are so destined, can we be friends in the future? Well. Mo Xiang Nguyen saw the hopeful look in Yu Mai Hwai's eyes, and she nodded, yeah. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1556. Chapter 1556. Are you triplets? I don't know if it was Mo Xiang Nguyen's imagination, but she always felt that the atmosphere when talking to Yu Mai Hwai was a bit depressing. But Yu Mai Hwai took the initiative to find topics and seemed to want to get closer to her. Mo Xiang Nguyen thought that they always wanted her to make more friends and interact with people. Now that she had this opportunity, she might give it a try. Yu Mai Hwai had a lot of questions, one after another, but these questions were all within Mo Xiang Nguyen's acceptance range, so she didn't feel there was anything wrong. Hey, since you are the youngest daughter of the Ye family, does that mean you, Ye Qingfeng and Ye Zhiruo are triplets? Yes. How is your relationship with them at home? It's very good. My brothers and sisters are very good to me. But why haven't I seen you at a banquet before? Well, because I'm not used to such occasions, it was always my sister or brother who might come back. Oh, that's how it is. Through the exchange of certain questions, Yu Mai Hwai has gotten to know Mo Xiang Nguyen a little bit. He is relatively simple and willing to answer anything he asks, unlike those old foxes who have been in this kind of situation for a long time and are all very cunning. Nuan, do you have a mobile phone? Let's leave a contact information. Okay. Mo Xiang Nguyen simply gave her his contact information, and the two became good friends. After the banquet, Mo Xiang Nguyen discovered that he and Yu Mai Hwai were in the same school. It's quite a fate. In this way, the two people will spend more time in contact. Yu Mai Hwai often comes to play with her, have a meal or go to the library or do something else together. Yu Mai Hwai has always been very enthusiastic towards her, and the two of them are good friends and sisters in the eyes of others, which makes Mo Xiang Nguyen wonder if there is something wrong with his mentality. Could it be that she couldn't accept such enthusiastic contributions from others, so until now there was something in her heart that prevented her from getting close to my Hwai. Mo Xiong Nguyen couldn't figure it out after thinking about it. She just felt that Yu Mai Hwai was so sincere and kind to her, but she couldn't return the same friendship to Yu Mai Hwai. Finally, Mo Xiong Nguyen decided to give Yu Mai Hwai a gift, because Ye Wai Wei told her that giving gifts to friends is also a good way to improve the relationship between the two. Ye Yuyi is the best at buying gifts and giving them to people, because she is the person in the Ye family who likes to buy things and give gifts the most. No matter what age, personality, or gender, Ye Wai Wei has researched on giving gifts. Mo Xiong Nguyen told Ye Wei about his idea of giving gifts to friends, and Ye Wei asked, is there anything she particularly likes? Mo Xiong Nguyen shook his head. Then do you know her hobbies? Mo Xiong Nguyen still shook his head. Ye Wai Wei's behavior towards his silly daughter was really dumbfounding. Baby, you said that person is your friend, but why don't you know anything about your friend? Because she didn't say anything about my Hwai. You have to discover many things by yourself. If you really want to be friends with someone, you have to pay a corresponding price. Although making friends depends on fate and following your heart, maintaining the relationship between friends also depends on methods. Since you said your friend is a very enthusiastic and outgoing person, then buy her some interesting toys. Of course, the toys here do not refer to those children's toys that children play with. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1557. Chapter 1557 You can't. Mo Xiong Nguyen kept Ye Wai Wei's words in mind. She began to observe Yu Mai Hwai's hobbies and listen to what Yu Mai Hwai said. She heard Yu Mai Hwai complaining that her mobile phone was always stuck recently, so she thought of buying a mobile phone for Yu Mai Hwai. Just when Mo Xiong Nguyen started to buy gifts, Han Chi, who was thousands of miles away, unexpectedly played a video. Mo Xiong Nguyen thought he had made a mistake, so he didn't answer the call at first, but Han Chi still didn't give up. After calling a few more times, Mo Xiong Nguyen naturally got through. As soon as the video was connected, Mo Xiong Nguyen pointed the camera directly at the ceiling without showing his face. On the other hand, Han Chi's face is all in the shot. I have to admit, it's really pretty. Hello? Hey, Mo Xiong Nguyen, where are you? Han Chi is still the same Han Chi, and his tone is unique when he speaks. Mo Xiong Nguyen, don't point your phone lens at the ceiling. Do you think I can't see it? Han Chi, I can hear you. You can speak softer. Tenderness, am I not gentle enough for you? Mo Xiong Nguyen was silent. She really wanted to ask Han Chi, does your face hurt when you say this? However, Han Chi is a good talker, and most people will lose if they argue with him, so she would rather remain silent and let Han Chi become more courageous as he fights. Mo Xiong Nguyen has a dull temper, as everyone who knows her knows. And for people like Han Chi who can't stand loneliness and talk a lot, it's impossible for the atmosphere to be peaceful when he's around. Mo Xiong Nguyen, please let me take a look at you. I haven't seen you for so long. I don't know if you have changed. Han Chi probably understood how to deal with Mo Xiong Nguyen, and his voice suddenly became gentle. A lot. Mo Xiong Nguyen really couldn't bear it, so he raised his phone to face him and complied with Han Chi's request. This time she also clearly saw Han Chi's appearance. Mo Xiong Nguyen, I wonder if you have gained weight recently. Yes? Yes, Mo Xiong Nguyen subconsciously touched his face, and heard a laugh coming from the phone. This is Han Chi's successful smile. Mo Xiong Nguyen stared at his expression and reacted instantly, Han Chi, you lied to me again. Now she even wants to go along the network cable and hit someone. Han Chi laughed loudly across from him and seemed to be very satisfied with Mo Xiong Nguyen's reaction. Mo Xiong Nguyen, you are too funny. With your small body, no one can call you fat. Han Chi said this just to appease Mo Xiong Nguyen, because he was afraid that she would hang up the phone if she couldn't think about it. But such unconscious words were actually more provocative than deliberate lies. Mo Xiongnuan instantly couldn't remember the reason why he was angry just a moment ago. After all, which girl doesn't like to hear others complimenting herself for not being fat? Han Chi, you suddenly called me via video, do you want to see me for something? It's okay. Is everything okay? Why does this sound so perfunctory and unbelievable? Oh, now that I think about it, something really happened. What? Long time no see, I miss you very much, so I just wanted to make a video call to see you. Real or false, this reason was so smooth that she felt that nothing Han Chi said was credible. Why don't you believe it? You always make fun of me. Tisk, Mo Xianyuan, are you an idiot? You can't even tell the difference between a joke and the truth. I am willing to face every friend with a sincere attitude and remember every word they say, but you can't. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lou Kixie. Chapter 1558. Chapter 1558. What should I do if you are cheated? I cannot. Hang Chi was not happy to hear this. Mo Xianyuan, have you ever heard of the saying that it's okay to say you can't do anything, but never say that a man can't do it? You are not a man. Hey, I'm so grumpy. Han Chi was about to explode, but Mo Xianyuan chuckled. Mo Xianyuan, have you grown up? You are the one who is not good at it? Let me tell you, Mo Xianyuan is too stupid and easily deceived. You're stupid. Look, a little girl with weak attack power can't even yell at someone. Mo Xianyuan, what will you do if you are really cheated one day? Mo Xianyuan vowed, no. Han Chi just wanted to say, yes. After all, you are stupid. Mo Xiongnuan, have you ever seen anyone praise someone like this? What kind of magical operation is this? Han Chi, don't underestimate me. Mo Xianyuan, you have to understand that I'm not looking down on you, I'm worried about you. There is no need to worry about this. I will not be cheated. Although it is possible to be deceived, it is impossible to be deceived. She just wanted to play this word game with Han Chi. Okay, you are stubborn, don't cry and ask me for help when the time comes. Why should I cry and ask you for help? Even if she is really cheated, wouldn't the first person she looks for be her daddy, mommy, or brother or sister? Could it be that a voice or video call to Han Chi from across the sky would solve the problem? Mo Xianyuan, are you stupid? You are stupid. Forget it, it doesn't make sense to tell you. Tell me, have you encountered anything interesting recently? Fun things. Mo Xiongnuan thought for a while, and what troubled her the most recently was the matter about you. My why, so she replied, I made a new friend recently. What kind of friend you are? Let me tell you what kind of friend you are. I'll check it for you. She's just a very enthusiastic girl. She said she wanted to be friends with me, but I felt like I had a problem with myself and was a bit repelled. I don't know why, although Han Chi always teased her, but when Han Chi asked a question, she always told him honestly. How did you guys meet? Dad took me to a banquet last time we met at the banquet, and coincidentally, she also goes to the same school as me. Coincidences often add to people's impressions. Mo Xiongnuan lacks experience in contact with people, so her ideas are relatively simple, but Han Chi is different, he will make many guesses because of this. Mo Xionyuan, making friends with people depends on fate. I think we are quite destined. By the way, I was just about to buy her a gift. I found out that she recently said that she had a problem with her mobile phone. She didn't know what to give her, so she planned to give her a mobile phone. Do you think it's okay? Mo Xiongnuan's words made Han Chi hold back some of the things he wanted to say. Mo Xiongnuan really wanted to make friends. If he told Mo Xiongnuan now that maybe that friend came with a purpose because of her identity, Amo Nguyen would definitely feel uncomfortable. Although he usually likes to tease her, he doesn't want her to be unhappy. Han Chi, do you think it's okay to give me a mobile phone? It's too expensive. It's a bit expensive, but the gifts mommy gives are much more expensive than this. But didn't Aunt Jiao give you the money? You have to earn your own money to give gifts, to be sincere. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1559. Chapter 1559. Probably pampering. But didn't Aunt Jiao give you the money? You have to earn your own money to give gifts, to be sincere. Han Chi wanted to use another way to remind her not to buy too expensive gifts. Because some people are interested in money, if they buy such an expensive gift for the first time, then the gifts they give later will only become more and more expensive. He didn't want Amo Nguyen's innocence to be taken advantage of by someone with ulterior motives. Amo Nguyen thought for a while and remembered that he should make money and spend money by himself. She thinks what Han Chi said makes sense. Yes, I should also find a way to make money myself. Tisk, I can't imagine how you can make money with your small body. Don't underestimate me, okay? Although, I haven't thought about it yet. Although she really doesn't know how to make money now. Han Chi, you are so smart, what can you do? I told you, I won all my money from the competition. Do you want to go to the competition to win the prize? Well, is there any other way? I don't want to participate in the competition, and I don't necessarily get the prize money. Other ways? Amo Nguyen stared at the people on the screen with wide eyes. She really hoped that Han Chi could make valuable suggestions. Han Chi looked thoughtful, but just when Amo Nguyen was looking at it seriously, his phone suddenly beeped twice to indicate that the video had been hung up. Amo Nguyen stared at his phone in confusion. Han Chi, who was thousands of miles away, looked at the suddenly black screen of his mobile phone and cursed. He was so serious in chatting with Amo Nguyen that he didn't notice the low battery warning. Just now, his phone was so drained that it shut down. Hurry to find a plug to charge the phone, but when he restarted and called, the other party didn't answer. Because unfortunately, Amo Nguyen had just been called to help by Yezhiruo and had left his cell phone behind. Han Chi took a picture of the phone screen, as if blaming the phone for its low battery. He was even thinking, isn't that girl Amo Nguyen thinking I was teasing her on purpose, so she got angry and refused to accept the video. The more he thought about it, the more panicked Han Chi became. If he didn't answer the video call, he would send her a text message. When Amo Nguyen came back from helping Yezhiruo, he was shocked to find 99 plus messages on his phone. I didn't have time to look through the previous messages and replied directly, "What are you doing?" Han Kizai, who was watching the phone next to him, saw the news immediately. The two of them struggled for a while before they figured out that he was overthinking it. Han Chi, you haven't told me yet, is there any good way to make money by yourself? You are still a minor, what do you want? I was just joking. Aunt Jiao gave you so much pocket money, just use a little to buy a gift. But that's not the money I earned myself. You study hard now is the best reward for your daddy and mommy. Wouldn't it be nice to repay them later when you make money? Well, why does it feel weird when this sentence comes out of your mouth? Isn't it unusual for a poor student to ask her to study hard and repay her parents? I'll think of other ways anyway, thank you for your suggestion. Hey, you're not really going to find something to make money, are you? I don't know, I'll go take a look when the time comes. Amo Nguyen, look at Jifubao. Amo Nguyen heard the sound of collecting money when he opened it. I owed you when you helped me with tutoring in the past. I also want someone to give me money without hesitation. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lou Kixie. Chapter 1560. Chapter 1560. Rich woman hugs me. Mo Xiong Nguyen suddenly had the first pot of gold in his life to make money on his own, although the reason was so bizarre that only someone like Han Chi could explain it. So much money. The money Han Chi sent was really quite a lot for her, so much so that Mo Xiong Nguyen couldn't accept it with peace of mind. After reacting, Mo Xiong Nguyen returned the money to the original route. Thank you, it's not enough. I helped you because we are all friends, and I never thought of charging you a tuition fee. Mo Xiong Nguyen was unwilling to accept it, but Han Chi insisted on giving it. The two of them were going around, but Han Chi was still domineering. Mo Xiong Nguyen, why are you such a mother-in-law? I will definitely give it to you, and my reason is very valid. Is there anything wrong with this being the money you earned with your own labor? Mo Xiong Nguyen, well, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this. Mo Xiong Nguyen accepted it temporarily, but after the call with Han Chi ended, she quietly transferred the money back. After completing all this, you can sleep peacefully. After that, Mo Xiong Nguyen began to look for ways to make money on her own, but she did not tell anyone about it. She searched for 2 days and accidentally discovered that the bookstore owner outside the school was recruiting temporary part-time workers to help sort all the books into categories. Mo Xiong Nguyen mustered up the courage to walk into the bookstore and applied for a part-time job. The bookstore owner thought she was a junior high school student when he saw her small appearance. Children, are you here to buy books? No, 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 I. You can't get rid of the fact that you start to stutter when you're nervous. The bookstore owner seemed very approachable and always spoke in a pleasant manner. Even though Mo Xiong Nguyen was so nervous that he stuttered, she still waited patiently for Mo Xiong Nguyen to express the meaning of the entire sentence. I want to work part-time. Is it okay to work part-time? Mo Xiong Nguyen finally said what he was thinking. But the boss laughed when he heard this and said, "Kid, you have to study hard. Part-time jobs are for adults." Although it is normal for students to work part-time, how could the boss agree to a kid who looks about 12 or 13 years old and wants to work part-time? Mo Xiong Nguyen thought for a while and handed the student ID card and a copy of the household registration book to his boss. I'm going to be 17 soon. Ying, that should be okay, right? The boss took a closer look and compared it with the appearance in the photo. It was really her. You're almost 17, you really can't tell. Boss, I really need to make some money through my own efforts, is that okay? After Mo Xiong Nguyen's repeated requests, the boss finally agreed. Mo Xiong Nguyen is young but very hard-working. She spent 2 days on weekends packing up books. Even her boss was full of praise for her persistence. When the salary was paid, the boss gave her an extra 20 yuan, and she earned a total of 120 yuan in 2 days. Every time he spent money on his mobile phone, the first time he earned money was paper money. When Mo Xiong Nguyen held the money in his hand, he felt warm in his heart. She went back to show off to Han Chi. No, she actually wanted to share her joy with someone. After hearing this, Han Chi's tone was a bit off. You refuse to accept my money and insist on running out to make money to buy a gift for a stinky woman who ran away from who knows where. Mo Xiong Nguyen, you are going too far. Previously, I said that I could try to contact Yu Mai Hui once I had friends, but he turned against her and called Yu Mai Hui a stinky woman. End of this chapter.